Press subscribe.
Press subscribe.
Press the bell.
Press the bell.
Press like.
Press like.
Change your life one word at a time.
Hello and good morning. Welcome to my channel. So today we will be looking at the Bitcoin. Everything is dumping and dumping. Is it time to run away? Is it time to be scared and panic? Is the bull run over? This is the things we'll be looking at closer and closer. But you know, before we do that, we like to start our day with our affirmations.
I'm smart, I'm beautiful, I'm strong, I'm wise, I'm powerful. It's gonna be a good day. Thank you, Jesus. I'm black, I'm proud.
Amen. Amen. So I hope how you keeping healthy. I got my Irish moss, got my sea moss. So I hope you're keeping healthy. So we're going to look at a few things. Now we can see Bitcoin has been dumping and dumping. Right now we are what? 22% from its all-time high. It did 11 days ago, which is $64,000. Now 22% drop. Is that time to panic? So let's look, because remember, this is mathematics, probability we're using. It's not science and facts. It's probability, it's maths we're using. And we look at trends, we look at graphs, we look at patterns in the economy, because people's behavior does not change year to year. The buying and greed, the selling and euphoria of bubbles and things, people's behavior is historical. What's happened before happens again. So with that being said, let's look at the previous bull runs for Bitcoin. So at 22%, in the last bull run, 2017, 2018, these are all the dips we saw. Big 38%, 33s, 38, 36, 29. Big dips. We have not, this dip right now of what? 22% is not panic zone. Even in this year alone, we see here, not this one. In this year alone, in January, we had a bigger dip than this, 31%. That lasted 19 days. February, 26%. That lasted 7 days. March, 18%, lasted 12 days. And right now, we are what? Well, not 27% no more. We are still at 22%, and that's lasted 11 days. And why does these dips happen? Because remember, when people have too much greed, when people are greedy, that's time to be fearful. A great investor, Warren Buffett, said that. And when people are fearful, it's time to be greedy. Because one thing these indexes show us, when people are too greedy, we reckon a correction will come. Just last week, we see extreme greed. And what happened? The correction came. And when people are too fearful, there can be a trend reversal and it might be a buying opportunity. We can see extreme fear, 0.24. So when things are extremely fearful, that could be a time of price changing. So it's time to be greedy in those times, especially if we're looking at the data and saying, unless we see something above a 38%, so say 40% dip, then it's time to worry. So let's look. So from $64,000, $64,806, let's see what a 40% dip would be. So 64,000 times 0.6, because that will be 60%. So if we see $38,400, then that is a panic kind of zone, because that would mean a 40% dip from our all-time high. And that's dollars I'm working with here, yeah? But right now, it's not time to panic. Because one thing to bear in mind, if we look at the charts as well, since Bitcoin's history, in 2013 was the last time we had 6 months of bullish candles. And we just done this. So we can see in January, February, March. Where's my dates? There's the dates at the bottom here. So you can see this is January. No, that is September, October. October, November 2, December 3, January 4, February 5, March 6. Green bullish candles. We've just been pumping each month. So even if we were to close this month with our first bearish candle gets printed, it's not necessarily the sign the bull over is over. Remember, we just said if you get to that $38,000, that's a 40% drop from its all-time high. That is time to panic. So, and we still, that's not necessarily how many days we got left. What is it? It's the 25th of April. So we still got about 5 days. So there's still a chance. It's a very low probability chance, because it's all about probability that we do get a green candle here. But even if we did get one, that is a nice correction, because what that has done to our fear and greed, because we can see here for our fear and greed, crypto fear and greed has gone all the way down to like 30%, which is great, because we want these. If times are euphoric and everyone's fearful and greedy, that could be the end of the bull run, because that massive correction that people are expecting, because what Bitcoin has done in history, that could be the end of the bull run. But as things are corrected, because we can see, so in February, we had this correction. People get into the blue is people's fear and greed. So people are very greedy, 82%, very greedy. We had this drop in March, February here. Boom. People way greedy. It dropped. The fear got to like just above 30%. Then March, people getting greedy again. It was still, we were rising. Then we had that drop I just talked about. This drop from March's one. Not that one. We saw this drop in March, 18%. Again, people were being greedy, and now we are here. So people being greedy, got to like we said last week, it got to, well, before that, even in April, we got to like 80 something, like 90% greed. People being greedy. Correction has come. So maths is our friend, trends are our friends, charts are good for our hearts, because it is following what we expected to follow. So it's a nice time. In my previous video, I talked about don't be greedy with these dips. It's not financial advice, but when Bitcoin got to 55,000, that would have been time to buy more. Now it's at 50,000. It's time to buy more in the dip. If it was to drop to 45,000, again, that's an opportunity. There's a discount, because we still believe it is going to get to 100K, unless the bull run is over by it dropping to like 38,000. But why do we believe $100,000 minimum? Is because of the history. If we look at the history here, because in the history of Bitcoin, it's done, well, back in 2001, it done a 32x. So in 2001, done a 32x, 3,200%, from $1 to $32. But more recently, in 2013, a famous bull run, it went from, let's say, well, there's two there, but let's just count the last one. It went from $123 to $1,156. So just call that a 10x. So whatever happened from the previous all-time high is done a 10x. Then in the last one, 2017, it's gone from, so just say from its previous all-time high, or around 1,000, to 20,000. So from a previous all-time high, which was at 1,000 in 2013, it's left that previous one, and in that new bull run in 2017, it's gone to 20,000. Let's just round and say 19, 20x. So it's done 32x ages ago, but that's very short-lived. Dropped straight away. It's done a 10x, short-lived. After that, though, it dropped after 3 days, it dropped. And then in our previous one, it's done 20x and got to this $20,000 in 2017, December, that it held for a very long time. Then we saw bear, and it halved. This is what we call the halve. And after that, it like dropped to like 10,000 and things like that. It just dropped. And we've been there until like December of 2019, wasn't it, when things started changing. So this is why, if it follows the same bull runs we've seen, there's been a 32x, there's been a 10x, there's been a 20x in the last one. So even if we're humble and just go with a 5x, so it does 5 times where it left its previous all-time high of $20,000. So 5x would be $100,000, and right now we're at $50,000. So that's why many people still believe in $100,000 is nothing. Whereas even if you say 20x now would go from a $20,000 to what, $400,000, nearly $500,000 for Bitcoin. So this is why 5x is humble to get to 100,000. Many people think that's easily achieved, because remember, the easier when it gets higher and higher, 1% is a big drop, is a big pump. It's doing thousands, 2%, 10% are doing tens of thousands. So it's easy for it to pump up, because at 50,000, 10% of 50,000 is 5,000. So 10% is 5,000. It easily can get, it's dropped 22% in 11 days. It could do that again, could get back up in that short pace of time. So this is why we're not thinking it's over. But one thing to look at, while these ones have been dumping, we can see Solana now has been pumping. Now, Solana is another ecosystem, and we can compare it to the other ecosystems. So we see Solana, 65,000 transactions per second, where Ethereum does 15. Binance does 100, Polkadot does 1,000, Cardano does 270, Tron does 1,000. Their fee per transaction, this is like a tenth of a cent, almost like just a bit more than a tenth of a cent. Nothing practically for transaction fees on the Solana ecosystem. Is free on Tron. Cardano is 25 cents. Polkadot is rough averagely $1. Binance is like a tenth of like 1 cent. Not even 1 cent, like a tenth of a cent. And Ethereum's at $15. So this is why people don't like Ethereum and their gas charges and things like that. And we can compare the latencies, number of validators, and this is why many people are saying Solana is one to watch, and it's been pumping because even this article was from ages ago. And we can see why Solana is better for DeFi. Because remember, DeFi is decentralized finance. Solana is quicker. So DeFi needs to build on apps and networks. So lots have been building on the Ethereum one, but is it sustainable? Is it scalable? Is it quick? Are they going to continue? Because a lot of people say back then we had Google and Ultra Vista. Ultra Vista might have started things maybe even, but who has survived? So even if Ethereum's big now, and I still believe in them, but in the long run of 5 years, 10 years, will we still be talking about Ethereum or any of these ecosystems like we saw here be the new one that survives? Who will stand the test of time? And it's not financial advice, but for me, having coins that have utilities like these, big powerhouses like these, is one to watch. Binance, I'm still bullish on Binance. All of these I would love to have if I had enough. And also the ones that have exchanges like Crypto.com has Crow, Voyager has exchange, has a token. You've got Binance has exchange, has a token. Things like that. What's the one that I missed? Yeah, so things like that, I would definitely be looking at holding those, not just for now, but think about the next cycle. Because Solana has been here for how long? Many years. So many people that had it from the previous cycle and had Binance and even from the previous cycle, and even though it dumped and stuff, they kept some. Now they're laughing because it's doing nicely. Although you have to think about exit strategy. They are expecting altcoin season to happen at some time, and then they could have 80% drop on all altcoins when the seasons are over. So you might think about trying to sell at the peak, looking at what it is when it's fee agreed, trying to take your profits out, and then trying to re-enter when everything's crashed and stuff as well as a good strategy, and holding that for the next 3-4 years and stuff like that. But you have to think about your strategy, what you have you can risk, and because even if people, I know some people, they're just leaving their money, they're waiting for the next 4 years. They don't care about this big dump that could happen. They're just going to hold for the next 4 years. They reckon it'll pump back up and things like that. So it's all up to you. But Solana, we're saying it's cheaper. DeFi applications can not only rest assured that it will be quick enough, but also know that there's no such situation where transactions are going to cost $1 in gas fees to be quickly processed. We've got Solana's decentralized. At the time of Solana mainnet has 128 independent validators, and now we can see it has even more than that. It has like 702 validators. Because see, Binance is not decentralized. That's the problem some people don't like. But the argument is, do people care about it being centralized where people have your records and take your passport and stuff, or do people just care about making money? Because Binance has been popping. Many people, Binance has high volume, one of the highest volumes in exchange right now. So people don't necessarily care about things being decentralized, but many do as well. So that's the argument and the trilemma of crypto: staying, keeping security, keeping scalability, and keeping how decentralized it can be. So what are the reasons? Reason number 4, Solana is open source. You can download Solana software code straight from Solana's lab, GitHub, and have your own node up and running in a very short time. Solana blockchain apps are built on Rust. Now, Rust is one of the fastest growing languages according to GitHub's The State of the Octaverse. For Solana, Rust solved the issues of memory safety and thread concurrency. The Facebook Libra project also chose Rust as their program language. Now, when Facebook stablecoin comes out, that might be very good times for crypto. It seems that the Rust blockchain ecosystem is growing alongside the growth in the program language itself. Check out this extensive list here. So all these platforms, all these companies have used Rust to build on. We've got a video you can watch. So Solana is partnered with Chainlink. Now Chainlink is very powerful. Chainlink actually has a partnership with Swift, and Swift is what you use back in the day, or still now, to send payments internationally to everyone. Uses Swift to send money. Uses Swift to cryptocurrency and try to do things. Swift is what the people are doing, because the part of what people, good project cryptos, are they going to get mainstream adoption? And Chainlink is one that already has partnerships with Swift and things like that. So, but now Solana has partnership with Chainlink. And we can see back on the 23rd of March 2023, Solana announced integration with Chainlink so they could provide high-speed Oracle data feeds to DeFi applications. 7th reason, Solana has partnered with stablecoin token bridge Terra. At the time of writing, Terra has 1.8 million users, processed 250 million, and has an annual run rate of 1.2 billion. When will the DeFi flipping in? We are currently at 55% DeFi apps, and this was old data, so things have changed. And right now, you can see Solana's price in 7 days on 79%, just 24 hours on 24%. And this is while things have been dumping, because while Bitcoin dumped, which is like the father of crypto, others, some of them did do 50% drops and things like that. Things were dropping and dropping and dropping. We can see, but Solana had a little drop, but it's been pumping. Just 22 minutes done a new all-time high. Let's look at the market in general. So remember, be fearful when others are greedy, and be greedy when others are fearful. So right now, people are fearful because things are dropping. So is it time to buy? You can see Ethereum still, Binance is trying to get back to $600. You can see 7 days, XRP has dropped 28%. Bitcoin 7 days 16%. Cardano, Polkadot 26, Litecoin 22. So you see there's loads of drops. Chainlink 17, VeChain. But make sure you check out my other videos I might do. So you can see Pirate Chain has been pumping and jumping as well. We might look, but Solana is one to watch. Pancake Swap as well. Looks like his Pancake Swap done a new all-time high. So Pancake Swap, Pancake Swap's done a new all-time high as well. It is 26 minutes ago. And Pancake Swap is the one I use my Binance and my Cake tokens to do my farming and staking and earn passive income. But remember, it's not just about the Bitcoin and crypto and stocks and things like that. And remember, look at my other previous videos, basics to look at when you're deciding what cryptos to go to, the questions you should be asking, instead of just doing speculative trading, and think about what you should do when you're investing in and whether you're planning to hold for a long term. And think about investing in yourself. That's why I've got my book, Divine Wholeness, available on Amazon. I've also got another book, just waiting for the pictures to come out, called Zimbala's Secret Gift. So it's a children's book, probably under $15. Storyline, can imagine it being a movie. It's very good. You would even enjoy it. All adults would enjoy it. So you can subscribe to that. Check my Telegram link below to join my Telegram group, my YouTube, share, subscribe, and you can the WhatsApp code is on the descriptions below, so you can subscribe to the I got another book as well, You Are Rich, that shows you all about capitalism and how to play the same game the rich do. You can subscribe for that. You can subscribe for Zimbala's Secret Gift, and you can buy this one now, available, Divine Wholeness, available on Amazon, soon to be on Audible and other places. But till the other side, make sure you keep it healthy, and God bless.